sun goes down, the freeway opens up, the rush is done, and taillights flow like blood through the veins of the city, bringing life to the city. We're pushing 83 and a 55, I got the wheel, but I like it when you drive through the heart of the city, through the heart of the city.
Hey everybody, happy Monday.
Thank you guys for joining us. Hope you're having a great day. Tonight we have brought on a very special guest and a friend. You've heard us talk about him before. This is Ryan Wilson, the one and only of HeyHey Studios.
Woo! What's up, gentlemen? Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, it's Cardiac Half presents Miller Boy Mondays.
Sup?
We just released a song last Friday, and if you haven't heard it yet, or if you haven't seen the music video, you need to stop this video right now. Go to your favorite digital music platform, whatever you listen to music on, and search Cardiac Half City Lights. You need to go listen to it. It's easily one of my favorites that we've released as a band.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. Like, I love how vibey and modern it is, and just, I don't know, man, it's got really good vibes, and I'm happy with where it ended up.
Yeah.
All thanks to this
as the
guy.
producer, quick thought, what do you think?
I think it's terrible.
Oh, man.
You're fired.
No, I think
Get
this
out.
is great. It's a great tune. I'm very proud of you guys. I'm proud of the song. I'm so glad it's out now.
Yeah.
And everybody's able to check it out.
Yeah.
The response so far has been pretty good.
Yeah, I would
That's
say
true.
so. I would
Yeah.
say so. We're loving every second of it being out, and it just gives me so much like inspiration of and excitement of what's coming next. But
Yeah.
for now, let's kind of start at the top of the song process.
Sure.
The song that we released last before City Lights was called Secret Letters, and so we kind of had a delay in some things, and we got back in the studio with you. I want to say June. I think it was June.
That sounds about right.
And we
Yeah.
started this song recording process. So, Drew, this song is all you. You wrote it.
Yeah.
So, what's your story behind it?
Honestly, I had written this song over a period of time. It kind of came in chunks, different progressions and stuff. I started with the chords and got in this place where I really liked where the chords were, and so then from there I kind of constructed a melody and then the lyrics after that. So it I kind of came up with it over time, which is always interesting. Sometimes a song will just kind of come out of you, and it's a quick process.
Yep.
This one there was nothing about this song that was quick, even when it came time to go into the studio to do it. But overall, I'm very pleased with it, and I think I like how it finally ended up.
Yep. There's some funky chords you're playing in there too, man.
Yeah, I
That's
told you.
like- walk me through that again.
I
What's the
told
bridge
you, man.
changes again?
When we first
Something over
did
something.
Killing Me Slowly
Yeah.
with you, I had
Like,
these
way
sevenths
back.
and ninths chords, all right? And I was
Oh.
like, man, I gotta play these. And Ryan was like, yeah, no, let's not do that.
That's because I don't know any chords.
That's
I only know four
baloney.
chords.
That's the
That's
whole
baloney,
truth
man.
of it right there.
No, so that bridge, I was super scared to take it to you because I was like, he's not gonna like this bridge. It's it moves too much. It's got some like sevenths and
It's different.
you know, it's really different for us. And
yeah, I dig it.
yeah,
We
and
kept it. I
We
was
kept
like,
it, and I
we're
was like,
keeping
sweet,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, really, this one was different because unlike our other songs, we had never played this one live.
Yeah.
Until we got to Hey Hey, and I'm pretty sure Drew sent you a recording of it or something for you to hear it first.
Yeah. I was trying to think about this. on the drive over. I was thinking, so, yeah, you sent me just sort of an iPhone voice memo sort of deal.
Yeah.
Like how you normally do.
Right.
Um,
I literally just sang into the computer speaker.
yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
That
and
was-
put some reverb on there to make it sound like not
You
terrible.
can hear that audio right here.
No, no.
Subscribe, link below. Yeah, you know what? This song has gone from like me not being excited about it. If I'm being honest.
No, I get it. I get it.
Not being
I get
excited
it.
about it to like this is like one of my favorite tunes, if not my favorite tune that you guys have done.
Yeah.
Because it just from voice memo to actual song, it's like I feel like it's totally different in my mind because when you first sent me the thing, it was just you piano, electric piano kind of thing, and
Right.
I couldn't like it wasn't you hadn't sold me on it yet.
So really, when we first took it to you, we didn't even really have a hook of the song, and that's something that Ryan always has to have in the songs we pitch. He's like, hey, it's got to have a catchy hook.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so I think the first time that Ryan heard it, there wasn't that.
There was no
Yeah.
hook, no.
Yeah, I mean, you had a chorus, which is a great chorus.
Well, so the pre-chorus now
Oh yeah, well I guess
was that
Yeah, we kinda
chorus.
shifted it
is-
around.
I guess technically it's a pre.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, when I first heard it, I was kind of like, it's just missing something. It's just
Right.
missing something for me to remember it by. You're right.
Sure.
I'm all about like the hook thing. I was just in
Yeah.
a writing session yesterday, and the chorus was there, and I was just like, man, we need a post-chorus basically.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to call it a chorus or a post-chorus. I heard somebody call it the other day a pre-bridge.
Pre-bridge.
Which I was-
Interesting.
Okay.
That's
a new
new
one
to
for
me, but that's
Yeah.
fine.
That's a new one. That's a new one to me too. But yeah, so I mean, I think the hook that we came up with, that you came up with,
Sure.
I mean, it's dynamite. I was
Well-
like, that is the song.
Thanks, man. But honestly, so you went ahead and had us come in the studio for day one.
That's right.
and
That's
it
right.
didn't have anything. So we
Didn't have
came in
anything.
and you weren't sold, but we just started like laying things out, kind of getting the flow together, and you were just like, man, I'm just not feeling it. So we sat there. You were tinkering on the acoustic, I think,
That's right.
and I was just like
Right.
humming some melodies, and next thing I know, like I'm like, I hear this brighter than brighter, and I'm like, dude, let's do that. And I was singing it, way up
An
high,
octave up,
yeah,
yeah,
an
yeah.
octave up, and yeah,
And
so.
I was like, that sold me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and once we got that, we all felt better about
Mhm.
the potential of the song at that point.
Yep. Yep.
Still, though, the recording process was not clean. We had
Oh,
like
man.
3 different nights, I think. We
Yeah.
came in and
This is kind of one of those tunes where it took us a while to get
yeah,
to where we're at and to where I feel like we're all happy with it. So this was a lot like it was similar to Big Bad Wolf, the way that
yeah,
one was, where
yeah.
it kind of took working it out and being like, okay, we need something to be like, this is what you're gonna remember the song by. Like,
yeah,
Sure.
for sure.
This is the hook.
So as Drew and Ryan said, it did take some time, but we did develop that hook. And I think by the end of the first day, we were sold on the song.
Mhm.
But I think, too, we were trying to overcomplicate the parts
Yeah.
and what each of us were playing. And so I think it took us until the second or third session to really get the parts lined up.
Yeah, I think that like you said, first day we was just kind of like working it out, doing a roadmap. That's kind of like how I usually work too. It's like
Right.
we have a day of sort of pre-pro where we
Sure.
come in and we're mapping out the song, we're cutting stuff, we're adding measures. Most of the time cutting stuff. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so after that day, we came back in. I want to say, did we track drums?
Drums was next.
Yeah.
Day 2.
And that the song had a different feel then.
It did.
So that was another thing that I like to do too, like pre-pro days, is figure out the tempo, figure out the key, and I think our tempo was just kind of like not jiving with
Mhm.
what your intentions were of the
Right,
song, and I
right.
think it was too slow. I think right.
I think
Didn't
it
we
was
end
at
up
first,
speeding it
yeah.
up?
And then
Yeah,
so we
speed it up.
busied it with drum stuff.
Yeah.
Right, and then we
But then there was like, it's too busy. Like, let's simplify.
right.
Like, it just needs to be dumbed down.
And
Yeah,
really, really, with that, the pop style that we are achieving, really, the more simple, the better.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's what we all kind of agreed on by the end. So I want to say it was the third day that we came. Third day.
Hey, third
That's
day.
good. I want to say it was the third session we came back, and that's when we kind of had all the parts ironed out.
Mhm.
And we finished tracking bass that day, and
I think
right.
keys too. We
and
did keys.
keys,
Yeah,
did bass
yeah.
and keys
Yeah,
that day,
keys,
and
yeah.
then I think we got done vocals that day too.
Was it that day? Yeah.
Wow.
It was.
I
Yeah.
don't
So we
know.
did. If that was the case, we did a lot.
Wow, we really knocked it out.
It was a
But
busy.
why did it take so long to get you this song? Ask these guys.
Sorry. We'll get to that in
Yeah.
a second. What's super cool about this vocal session is that I finally got that feature that I've been waiting
Yours
for,
truly.
and Ryan had me sing on the verses, on some of the
Yep,
verses.
yep. It's
Yeah.
like
little
a
tag.
yeah,
little tags.
it's like a call and response sort of thing in the verses.
Yeah.
And you were singing it to
Mhm.
begin with, and I was just like, man, it just needs like a different texture.
Right.
even though we have similar voices, the texture's a little bit different.
It
I
is,
would
yeah.
say.
But I'm curious to see how many people would notice, because my
right.
voice teacher didn't notice
Oh,
at
wow.
first. She thought
Really?
that was me as well.
I don't
So-
even need vocal lessons, and I'm as good as he is.
Oh,
Look
no,
at
no,
that.
no. That's compression and a bunch of stuff that he put on you.
Hey,
and me.
They don't have to know all that, okay?
That's true.
I do have a computer. We do track on a computer.
That's very true.
No, but really the recording process was very tricky.
Yeah.
But by the end, and as we said from the top, that just by the end, we knew that this was going to be a really bumping track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we achieved
For
that.
sure.
Yep, absolutely. Like I said, I love the song now. One of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah, so I think from the onset of this song, the goal that I had was I wanted it to be suave and smooth and fresh.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that we achieved that. I feel that we achieved that.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say so. That's really the recording process, and we had a lot of fun doing it. So then every time we release a song, we always try to learn something and do something a little different. And so with this, we were trying to kind of plan ahead. And so we set the release date, as Ryan mentioned earlier. We tracked it. You know, those 3 sessions were relatively quick back in June.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, why the heck are y'all dropping it in September? So we set that date back to get a lot of different planning and stuff done. And so one thing that we have been pretty consistent on is always having some type of video content with the song itself. Some of that's been stuff we've done on our own with Chris, and some of those things have been, with different companies like Neveo or guys like that. So this one we were like, well, we could have another video, or for about the same amount of money, we could potentially hire like a PR person and kind of have a PR campaign, and that's something that we haven't done in the past. And so as we're kind of planning this out, we meet with this videographer, and his name is Brian Bishop, and he had been messaging us Bishop the director. He had been kind of hitting us up on Instagram since May, actually, saying, hey, I'm newer to the area, would love to work with you guys, heard your stuff. And so I was like, hey, Drew, let's go meet with this guy, Brian Bishop, just to kind of feel him out. We said we're not going to do a video for this song.
Yeah, I won't lie, I was pretty shut off at the top, just because I was like, well, we can only do so much financially. So I'm like, well, let's focus on the PR campaign, and in the meantime, dude, we'll just do a simple lyric video.
Sure.
Just to kind of.
And we've already kind of proven we could do a lyric video,
right?
And that worked. And so as we're talking with Brian, he was like, yeah, these are kind of like, this is kind of what I do. And if you guys are talking about hiring a PR staff, well, you want to give them your best content. And so if all you're giving them is some homemade lyric video, that's what they're pitching to all these places. So do you really want to be content with just giving them something that's kind of half done? And so we left that meeting going, well, crap, man, we got to make more money.
Not only is he a good videographer, he's a really good marketing
good
guy,
salesman.
so
He
good salesman,
sold us
yeah.
pretty quick. I'm pretty sure we called you a couple times to consult you, and I think you agreed that we did need a pretty solid video to go with the epic song we had.
Yeah, absolutely. Turned out great.
Really like the song itself. The video kind of had some twists and turns in the process of recording it, and really from the start of meeting with Brian to the end of the video being done and in our hands was about three weeks. And initially, the storyline was going to be filmed at HeyHey, which was pretty cool because he's got a cool space.
It's all right.
And so Ryan was nice enough
Looks
to let
better
us.
when these faces are in there.
Now that's true.
Yeah.
I can't lie. So we actually, Ryan was nice enough to let us come by and let Bishop kind of check out the location a little bit.
Yeah.
And Drew, the idea for the first video was pretty cool. What was that?
Yeah, it was like kind of a party almost in kind of a high-rise building at the top, sky view type thing, if you will. And it was going to be kind of dancing, like very theatrical and like synchronized movements to a beat and everything. And it was just going to look really cool, kind of like a La La Land sequence. And
one thing that Bishop is excellent at is all of his music videos look more like short films or movies.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And so that's one thing that we that's why we wanted to use him. And so that first storyline that he pitched us, it would have been great. But I think because of the turnaround time, we just had some curveballs thrown to where we couldn't execute that storyline all the way. So I think we're going to use Hey Hey, and then it ended up not working out, unfortunately.
Yeah. But what they came up with is great. It's awesome.
And really, it was developed like 2 days before we were supposed to shoot. And so Bishop had our incredible actress, Caitlin Newberry, hired. And
She's
she
phenomenal.
did a phenomenal job filming. Made acting for me easier just because I'm a bass player. I don't know how to act.
and we kind of agreed. It was my idea to be like the narrator in this video, and Dylan is like kind of the character, and I'm telling the story. Well, then, like, after working with Caitlin, I was like, man, I should have been the main character.
Hey, but I was, and it was we had a good time filming, really. And like I said, that the storyline shift like 2 days before was crazy. But as Ryan said, the final product and what you've seen, I think it turned out well. We had our good friends, the Castanedas, let us borrow their cafe for that opening shot. Shout out to Cacao Cafe, great coffee shop. If you're in the Tyrone area, make sure you swing by.
And the golf cart was loaned to us by the Turners, so thank you guys for letting us borrow that. It was a very cool little sequence there.
Yeah.
And it's the whole video is awesome, man. The way it moves throughout. Bishop did a great job. You guys did awesome. Caitlin's the real star, though.
Oh, yeah. She is.
Actually, I saw this the other day just scrolling through on Instagram. She is in Jimmy Eat World's new video.
I saw that too. That's crazy.
Caitlin, you are the coolest, and thank you for being in our video because we're
Jimmy Eat World's one of my favorite bands.
Really?
I was just scrolling through and I was
No way.
that looks familiar. There she is.
Hey, that's got to
amazing.
count for something. Right?
Yeah.
She's actually starred in over like 50 films, so
Really?
I mean,
That's awesome.
she's definitely very
She's killing
talented and
Great
crushing
job.
it.
Well, what was cool though was we had some different shots in mind for the ending scene, and basically the whole video idea is that these two characters for the night are living large. They are the kings and the queens of the night. They own the world, so that's why they take a golf cart that's not theirs, and they just own the town.
That pool is theirs, though, right?
No, I'm sure. Right. So, but the pool scene was actually supposed to be me and her jumping in at the very end together. But I've had this medical condition where I've had what's called a PICC line in my arm. And I'm not going to go into all those details, but basically I can't get that wet. And so I call Bishop like the day before, and I'm like, hey, man, that cool idea I had about jumping in the pool.
Ain't gonna work.
I can't do it. And he was pretty angry at me, unfortunately. So we kind of switched it around.
Like, how did you forget to leave that detail out?
Right. I just forgot. And so as we're preparing for this pool scene, and we kind of changed it around a little bit, I never got my arm soaking wet.
Oh,
and under my shirt, I had taped a bunch of plastic wrap to where it couldn't have got wet, hopefully, if it was submerged. So my arm was super stiff
and purple
during that whole tape. and purple. And the whole time we're shooting, my arm's kind of in the back. And hopefully you don't notice it.
I didn't notice it at all.
In the video. It's good editing.
It's the first time
done.
hearing of this. Yeah.
So again, with the quick changes that we had to have to execute this video, Bishop did a good job, and we had a fun. I think we filmed for 9 hours from 6 to 3 from Friday to Saturday, and then from 7 to 3 the next until Sunday morning. So we had a pretty busy weekend filming.
Yeah, it was long.
It was pretty fun.
But totally worth it in the end. And yeah, I won't lie. So, you always, as a songwriter, you kind of have visually in your head what you think it should be like. Mm-hmm. And this was a different take on what I saw in my head, and it was done very well and executed very well. So in my head, it was me and Ryan driving through the city.
Me in the backseat, third wheeling.
What I was thinking.
It was about
when I didn't
man.
get the part and Caitlin did, I was pretty
Oh
mad.
man. Well, hey, actually, she was supposed to film the podcast with us, and she couldn't.
That's what I'm saying.
So we got you instead.
I'm the fill-in. I'm always the fill-in.
I'm just kidding.
Always the fill-in.
You're first in our hearts, man. We had a really good time with this whole songwriting process, and we're back with Ryan starting the next tune within 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's going to be cool
fast
too.
approaching.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear more. He's got some great songs, actually. These, I'm like, boom. These are
Let's do it.
dynamite.
Yeah.
Dynamite. They're great.
And they're in
You're
the
gonna love
same they're in the same vein. So I'm really feeling where we are right now.
Yeah.
And,
It's great, man.
Yeah.
These dudes have made a huge, just huge shift in like the best way.
Sure.
Watching these guys just develop and their sound sort of change into something really awesome and unique. And it's awesome working with y'all.
Hey,
Really.
Thanks, man.
It's all
Really
thanks
great.
to you, really.
Really
so,
it is.
So thank you.
You pull
Love
out the
these dudes.
best. I'm serious. Like you pull out the best. When we go and record vocals, it's like 4-hour vocal
Oh, yeah.
things, and he just like works me like a.
That's why I'm not
I
sure
mean-
if it was all on the same day.
Yeah, it might-
'Cause
it may
not
I,
have
I,
been.
I'm in
It
there
might
like
have been.
just beating him. I'm like,
Yeah.
It
"Do
might have
again,
been. It
do
might have been
again."
2 separate. It might have been 4 days that we were there.
I think it
doing
was.
It.
I think it was. Some of the initial tracking we just totally scrapped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did.
Kind of started
because-
over.
Yeah,
really.
we started over. We were trying to find that vibe of just
Yeah.
like what where the song needs to be, but it's there now.
We
It's
found
there
it.
now. It took us a while, but we got it, and it's great.
Yeah.
Good teamwork,
Boom.
fellas.
For real, man.
Teamwork
Good
makes the
teamwork.
dream work.
Yeah,
Oh,
it does.
man.
Shines right in your face.
I love it. This is our last episode of this current series of Miller Boy Mondays. Like, don't fret, we will be back in a couple weeks and with something new. But for now, we just wanted to give you guys the breakdown of our 6 singles, and the 6th one being released last Friday, which you just heard about. So thank you guys for tuning in every week. We really do appreciate it.
Let us know what you think about the song, the music video. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell us what you think about this guy and how awesome he is.
We've talked about him like every episode because he is a band member of Cardiac Calf. And so we just wanted to put a face to the name that you've heard about so much.
Here he is. I hope you guys are happy with this.
We are. We're very happy.
I hope they're happy with this.
Oh, yeah.
They are. Guys, thank you for tuning in. We are Cardiac Calf, and this is Miller Boy Mondays.
City lights dancing in your eyes. City lights up on the high rise. You're looking so fine tonight. Kiss me and sparks will fly. Brighter than the city lights. Brighter than